YouTube. It is time for another gun review, even though I literally just done one seconds ago, but these videos will probably be posting around the same time anyway, so you'll see them both. This gun I'm about to review, it is my baby, and I've probably put, depending on what kind of people you would ask, some would say almost too much money into this gun. And it is my pride and joy, an AR-15 carbine, 15-inch rail, well, 4-inch, I guess you could say, the rail's on top. This is a Ruger AR-556, and as you can see, I've done a little bit of modifications to him. It's got a Bravo Company stock, Bravo Company pistol grip, even though the one that Ruger has that comes on this is actually pretty nice for a stock grip. It has the BCM charging handle, and of course, while we're at it, it is unloaded. BCM key mod rail, mag pull flip up sights in the front. The Ruger one is still in the back. I kind of want to change it to a mag pull to have it be consistent with the front sight, but at the same time, I can't really justify it. There's nothing wrong with the Ruger one. It's fantastic. The sight is one that you may have seen before. Holosun. To my understanding, because this is what I had read about them, obviously it has a little solar panel, so it can actually run on solar. It can adjust its brightness automatically from the solar. It is kind of in the style of a holo sight, but it's technically a reflex sight, which means it uses an LED light, which means it lasts way longer. Little button cell battery, and it has like 50,000 hours. And one of my favorite features about it is the fact that, like a lot of sights, like say an aim point or something like that, that you would leave on all the time, this one you also leave on all the time. But this has a motion sensor built into it. So if you put it, say, in a gun cabinet and don't touch it for like an hour or so, or however long it takes to go off, I can't remember exactly what it was, it goes off. And then I'm talking like as soon as you pick it back up, it comes back on. And your reticles are at the brightness that you had it at. So I think that's really cool. I was going to go with the EOTech, but I went with this one instead because, for one, it's a little cheaper. The build quality is actually still really nice. It has a titanium hood and everything. I mean, the solar panel for solar backup, the 50,000 hour life as opposed to EOTech's 1,000 hour, which is at the good side of their spectrum. And you also have the auto on-off feature with the motion sensor, which I love. I think it's fantastic. Bravo Company grip, or stock rather. Well, that too, yeah. I guess the grip's Bravo Company as well, but this, real nice and snug. You can shoulder it. There's barely any movement to that thing whatsoever. This grip has a little cap on the bottom of it. Real tight seal. Takes a lot for it to swing out. It's real firm. Really like that. The strap is Blue Force gear, a Vickers tactical. Vickers combat application tactical 2-point sling, quick adjust. This thing right here, if you've never seen anything with them, look up some videos of them. They're fantastic. I was going to get a 3-point sling because it was kind of a thing for a long time, and the 2-point tactical slings basically do everything they do and then some, and they have none of the drawbacks that they have. So that's definitely something to consider. Now, I also have, as you might be able to see, some grip panels here from Bravo Company on the front of this. This makes it a little bit better to grip up here. The 15-inch rail I really like. It comes up almost all the way to the end of the barrel. Pretty cool. The BCM key mod rails, really easy to put on. I thought they was anyway. It's actually kind of an involved process, but not too bad. And as a matter of fact, Such, who has a fairly well-known gun channel on YouTube. He has a really good installation video of these Alpha Key mod rails, and I used it a lot for reference during that. Because, I mean, basically, and especially with the Rugers, you have the proprietary barrel nut at the bottom there, which, well, not barrel nut, but the delta ring. But the delta ring, too, and their proprietary system is fantastic, too. Like, most delta rings where you got to pull them down, kind of like with even force all at the same time. Ruger's just threads. It's got like threads there, you just screw it down, take the grips off, and that's it. Now, you gotta take that off. Obviously, you gotta take your front sight / gas block off. And also, you can't see it because it's underneath the grip too. The one I put on it is a clamp-on Daniel Defense gas block. It's got 2 screws kind of going on the bottom, and it just got some Loctite on them. You tighten them up, and all that actually went on pretty darn smoothly. Didn't have any kind of issues with that, really. The thing I did have an issue with is somehow my delta ring, where Ruger has the proprietary one, it somehow had seized up on the threads, and I had a horrible, horrible time getting that off. But eventually I did, and I changed all this out, and Bravo Company's got this really slick system with their proprietary barrel nut of holding this whole rail on, and it's really solid, locks up good, excellent build quality. A little pricey, but then again, if you get a decent 4-end, there's not really any of them that's cheap, so. Altogether, though, that's what's kind of ironic about this gun is the Ruger itself, I bought after, and I mentioned this in a previous video, I bought this after I sold a Smith & Wesson Shield that I had. It was a Smith & Wesson Shield Performance Center. Little pistol. Single stack, fantastic little gun. Actually shot amazingly for a tiny gun. That being said, this was early in 2016, or early to late-ish, like fall, I guess, 2016. And at the time, I was actually genuinely concerned about AR-15s because I thought Hillary Clinton was going to win the election, and I said, well, I've been wanting an AR, I better hurry up and snatch one up while I can still get them. And surprisingly, they weren't that scarce at that point. They were kind of getting to that point, I think, because there was a little bit of a frenzy, but it just hadn't went full-blown yet. And I traded it in, sold it, and got this Ruger here for $600. So really, I've probably altogether, when I initially bought it, I only paid about, I think about $300 or so for my Shield. So I probably paid about $300 for this, plus the Shield trading in and all that. So $600 initial investment. At this point, I would easily say I've probably got, I know well over $1,000 into it, probably more than that. So I'd estimate the overall value of this rifle now to be closer to like $1,800 or something like that. I'd have to actually sit and write it all down and actually have an accurate estimate on that, but it's just a guess. The only thing I really haven't done much with, and that I really want to at some point, is the trigger. It still has the stock Ruger AR trigger in it, which, to be fair, as far as stock AR triggers goes, isn't terrible. I mean, it's actually, let's see. It's got a pretty decent break to it, but it's got the same thing that plagues any kind of stock AR trigger. It's probably like 10 pounds because it's really heavy. Really heavy. Other than that, though, excellent gun. I did read something interesting about Rugers once that you may not even be able to see even if I show you, but right here on the upper receiver and down here on the lower, there is a little proofing mark of where these uppers and lowers were machined, and it looks like a little keyhole. And apparently, from what I'd read, that's actually the same one that Daniel Defense uses. So these upper and lower receiver series Rugers are actually made in the same place the ones for Daniel Defense are. So, I mean, you're getting a quite a bit cheaper gun here with essentially the same upper and lower that Daniel Defense has. Either way, though, that was my Ruger AR. Probably one of my favorite guns ever, and the sad part is as much money as I have into it, I'm not really completely done upgrading it just yet, so probably more to come on that. And if I do any other kind of involved projects with it, like putting a trigger in or anything like that too, I'll probably share that with you. And and I'll make a video of it and update you on whatever product I get and whether I like it or not. So, until then, thanks for watching.